Today, I'm talking to you about how you can let go and surrender the goal and the desire to lose weight or to maintain weight. Because the reality is that when you've had an eating disorder for some time, the goal has always been to cut the calories, cut the carbs, restrict the food, and we live in a place of diet culture taking over our mind, our beliefs, and our reality. But when you choose to put your recovery first, you also have to let go and surrender the desire to lose weight. So in today's show, I'm going to talk about how you can begin doing that. And if you're struggling with this, I think this is going to shed some light to help you navigate your next step forward. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. So I want to start today's episode and give you just an overview of what we're going to talk about today. And really that is the shift in perspective of your goals. When you're a high achiever, when you are a go-getter, when you set high expectations and you conquer them, it's really hard to have a shift in perspective. This is where your identity comes in. And this is why it's so hard to shift the identity of someone that believes thin is in, or that being the lowest weight possible is the best for you, to someone that embraces the ability to surrender that in recovery and step into your true natural body size. This part of it is so hard because you have to shift perspective of your goal. And the reality is that recovery requires complete surrender and a shift of how you view weight loss, how you view weight maintenance, and how you view weight gain. And we have to first focus on this shift from weight loss as being our primary goal in life to recovery freedom being our primary goal in life. This shift, it doesn't happen overnight. In fact, it can take some of my clients a really long time. But the reality is it's a shedding of a false self and stepping into a brand new you. If you've been hit with diet culture, where we are programmed to believe that we can't trust ourselves with food, that you need rules to follow, that you need guidance, that you're not supposed to eat before a certain time, that you can't go to bed and eat food right before bed, like all of these rules that we regularly talk about on this show, but that you experience in your own life. It's hard to shift from believing those truths that are validating the disorder, that are actually enhancing the disorder, to a shift that weight loss is not your primary mission on this planet. The shift doesn't happen overnight, but I want you to think about your belief of weight loss and how this impacts your current reality, your current recovery, and your path into your very best self. Because as I was navigating my own recovery journey, I realized that my goal, literally my entire goal for years and years, was to lose weight or to maintain the weight that I had managed to get to. And so what I want you to be able to shift perspective on is what it takes to fully embrace recovery. And that is, you have to think differently. You have to believe differently. Think of it like this. Do you identify as someone who is super weight conscious constantly? If yes, then this is impacting your ability to heal. This is influencing being a slave to the disorder. And it truly is prohibiting you from moving forward because part of you still believes that weight loss is good and weight gain is bad. So how do you push past this core belief? Number one, self-compassion. Okay, so in order to surrender these obsessive, destructive, these self-sabotaging behaviors, you will need to show yourself some grace. Granting yourself permission comes into play here, but we have to change to heal. And in order to question those previous and those current beliefs that you're having, part of that is sitting with the feelings of what am I so scared of? And where have I not been giving myself compassion and grace? So again, you've been programmed to believe that weight loss is good, no matter the cost. We live in a society where we see these before and after pictures. We promote all these diet products, and they're constantly shoved down our throat on the daily. Undoing this narrative takes time, and part of it is really having that self-compassion for you. You're not like other people, right? And honoring that you're not like other people. And your vice has been to control your body size because of these beliefs that you've put on. But they aren't you. They don't measure your worth. And so before we can really shift our perspective, we have to give ourselves some grace. The second part of this involves acceptance. Part of self-compassion is actually having an acceptance mindset. And it's really important to see the reality that while weight loss may be okay for some people, maybe some people really do need to lose weight for their health condition, or something is going on, right? Where they are working with a professional and a doctor to lose weight in a healthy way. But that's for some people. And when you've been eating disordered, it's important to understand that viewing weight loss for yourself is a goal that keeps you striving for an unrealistic, unhealthy expectation of you, and it's never going to do anything good for you. I had to dive into this. I had to believe in my heart that I could never try to lose weight again. Like, after I went through recovery, it was honoring that I was just trying to have a healthy relationship with food and learning what it meant to have a healthy relationship with food. And that meant no counting macros, no counting calories, and no measuring things, because that was a slippery slope. It became super obsessive. I knew that about myself. And so I would set boundaries around those things in my life. And part of it was granting the permission and having that perspective of understanding that for some people that is okay. And I'm not them. And that is okay. And it doesn't make them bad, and it doesn't make me bad. It simply is, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm putting myself into a vulnerable place that is going to go nowhere fast. Number 3, I want you to really make a plan to surrender the desire to lose weight. It's also coming up with an understanding that weight loss isn't good at all costs, and weight gain isn't bad. What we're doing when we're recovering and trying to weight restore the body is we're going against those internal beliefs that we've held so tightly to, that if I gain weight, I'm bad. Sis, the reframe is that my body needs nourishment to function at its highest level. And therefore that might require right now that I weight restore. But that doesn't mean I'm bad. That doesn't mean I'm lazy if I cut back my exercise, right? That doesn't mean that I have no control over food if I stop restricting it. Action before belief is what it takes. You have to discard the clothes that are not attainable to begin with. And that is going to limit having this awful response when we're trying to put our body into something that wasn't made for us in the first place. I remember going into like TJ Maxx or Marshalls or whatever, and there was no size there that could fit me because I wasn't even in an adult female's size clothing. And part of me would get frustrated, and then the other part of me used that as an advantage to go, you know what, like, this is crazy that I'm measuring my standard against myself and it's not even attainable. And when it has been attainable in my life, it's going to measures that are no longer sustainable. And I don't want to live like that anymore. And so what does that look like for you? Maybe it's stop contributing to wellness culture. If we're doing things where we're buying these products or we're promoting other people's stuff that is contributing to this dysfunctional culture and view of females' bodies, like how can we stop showing up for that? Setting better boundaries for those that are also close to us. It's so important you sit with people that are going to clap when you're winning and that aren't talking behind your back, right? In the disordered mind, we fear everybody's judgment anyways. So we need to put ourselves in a place where we're surrounded by supportive women that are going to build us up. That's what I love about our community, herbestselfsociety.com. You can find us out there online because we have women recovering together. And yes, at their own individual pace, many of which I'm working with privately. The value there is that you have folks that are honoring you and are clapping for you to go against what society is saying is good. Meaning, are you nourishing your body? Are you honoring you? Are you learning to love the skin that you're in, even if you don't like your body right now? Because so many people want to post these before and after photos of how much weight they've lost. But how about the before and after photos of how much weight gained? I've always thought about doing that. Like, what would people do if I posted a before and after photo of the weight I gained? Would they still be clapping? We live in a dysfunctional society. And so honoring yourself, putting yourself in rooms that are going to help you, support you and your recovery journey is so important. And for me, that looked like no longer sitting at tables with people that were going to put me down. No longer being around friends that were going to talk about restricting their calories. No longer going to be put in those settings and experiences with people that were not going to contribute to the success of my recovery. Diet culture says that you can't trust yourself with food. The reality is you don't need rules. You don't need guidance around food because those rules haven't served you. They've kept you trapped. They've just become more rigid. When you give trust to your body learns to trust you. I want you to start journaling when you have this desire to lose weight or this desire to maintain the weight that you're at. I have a lot of women that come through coaching with me and we get to a healthier place, which is incredible. And then we get there and many of them realize that their goal is shifted. They once were trying to gain weight and now they're terrified of gaining over what they feel is their maintenance zone. I get it. I've been there. But the reality is this is still a self-sabotaging behavior. And you're validating the belief that you can only recover up to this point, or you're only granting yourself permission if you maintain your weight once you get to what you believe is your set point. So what do you need to put into place to stop glamorizing the idea of losing weight or staying in a maintenance zone? Well, it might look like stop scrolling on social media or following those accounts that are not good for your heart and for your recovery. It might be to really think about that body checking that you're doing. Like, how often are you body checking and putting yourself down and picking apart different parts of your body? So you don't have to love what you look like right now, but the true reality is that if we're looking and searching for something not to love, it's not going to be that hard, right? We're going to find something. And any way that you are monitoring your weight, like weighing yourself, tracking your steps, or logging your calories, like that has got to go. We have to put those boundaries in place so that we aren't doing those things or that we won't go back to doing those things. After today's episode, I want you to choose one action and go all in on it. If you want to recover, but you're only allowing yourself to be X number of pounds, that's not recovering. Remind yourself today, sis, that it's okay for them, but not for me. I used to watch my husband eat and I would be like, oh my gosh, that's okay for a full-grown man to have that, but I can't have that. Why not? Why not? Why is it that I have to order the salad and he gets the burger? No. You are worthy. You are worthy. Instead of ordering the salad, how can you reset your focus? How can you go, you know what? I'm worthy of the burger. I'm worthy of the choice. I'm worthy of doing the hard thing. That doesn't mean I'm going to blow up, and it doesn't mean anything about me. The bottom line, sis, is that your goal will need to shift to health and happiness. It has to shift away from how do I lose weight and how do I maintain my weight and how do I not gain weight to whatever I need to do to be healthy and ultimately happy and living at the highest version of me. Getting your body to its natural state, it will only come once you stop restricting and once you stop doing the unhealthy behaviors that are no longer serving you. Your identity, it's not based on a number, it's not based on a metric, it's not based on a step count, it's not based on a calorie, it's not based on what you had for dinner. Dr. Maria Rego, the president of the National Eating Disorder Association, said it like this: when you no longer value the eating disorder, you don't buy in to the idea that you should be engaging in weight loss or unhealthy eating patterns. Sis, this is your reminder today that you can surrender the cycles in your life that are keeping you trapped. You can lay it down daily. You can say, you know what? Maybe for a majority of my life, my goal has been to lose weight. Maybe for a majority of my life, my goal has been to be under this amount of pounds. Maybe for a majority of my life, my goal was to be the smallest person in the room. But who's to say that's serving you? That's keeping you small. That's keeping you stuck. Recovery requires that you completely surrender and you have a shift of this perspective. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to go against everything you've known to be true. But the first step is defining how you can show up for you and grant yourself compassion and permission to change. The next one is accepting what got you here. Your view on why you feel that losing weight is the ultimate thing. Then I want you to make a strategic plan and take one action forward. When you give trust to your body will trust you. Friend, I hope this episode has helped you in some way. And if it has, can you please do me a solid? Go on out to iTunes and Apple Podcasts and rate and review the show. This is how the podcast gets seen by so many other women out there that need to hear the messages of hope and inspiration. Our mission here at Her Best Self Co. is to change the way that women view their bodies, view their life, and stand up to the eating disorder, because you are not your eating disorder. You are worth so much more. Stop giving your power away and start standing in your truth. I love you, friend, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.